Good morning, everybody. I have a towel head because I just showered, but I'm in the morning sunlight, my favorite activity in the whole world. And I wanted to discuss the topic of fasting to get rid of cellular trauma. So I made a bunch of videos, a bunch of reels yesterday on Facebook talking about the importance of the structure of the cell membrane. So that would be the membrane that protects the cell and keeps it enclosed. This membrane is super important for the stress response in the body, how our cells are going to signal whether they're under duress or stress, or whether they're going to thwart their energy towards building, recovering, and just like extracurricular activities, more fun things, rather than just the inflammatory stress response cycle. So the important note to go over that is those healthy fats. The healthy fats are so important, and this is going to go back to the seed oil video that I did a little while ago, why they are so toxic for the cell membrane, because they are polyunsaturated. So basically what this means is that they have open chains in their structure, and these open chains are just waiting to combust. They're waiting for someone to slide in there and just say boom, just hit that red button and explode. But we want stable structures, stable fats. And you go over fats like this, so avocado oil, coconut oil, extra virgin olive oil. And where we're at with everything that you're buying at the grocery store, you definitely want to make sure that it's third-party tested. Do your research. It's worth going the extra mile, because nothing is regulated. None of the oils are regulated, the supplements aren't regulated. We're at a point where we don't know what we're buying, and going the extra mile, just looking into the quality that you're getting, is going to be super important. You want to know that you're spending your money towards your health in a good place, because again, this is why I gave up taking the supplements I was taking, because some of them were just making me nauseous. And then it came to a point where, do I have all these supplements in my diet already? So having the healthy fats in your diet is so important, not only for the cell's integrity. This is obviously going to be important for the brain as well, because the brain is made up of 60 to 80% fat. So how can fasting help you to clear cellular trauma? Well, the cell, as you can see, is just a tiny machine. It's a tiny little machine. It's a beautiful, intelligent little thing. And we have things in a cell that basically operate as like Pac-Man. So one of the biggest Pac-Mans is going to be lysosomes. So when we decide to go through a fast and we kind of cut off the normal energy and flow to the cell, it kind of makes them step back and be like, whoa, what are you doing here? Are we about to go through a famine? We're about to buckle down the hatches. Everybody needs to get their shit together, and we've got to do something that's going to help us get through this time period. Everybody who's not doing their work, you got to go, and the people who are doing their work, we have to buckle down and get stronger. So that's basically what happens to the cell at a cellular level when you're going through a fast. A tragic article came out a few days ago that a lot of people in the health space were talking about. The American Heart Association published it, I believe, saying that intermittent fasting can increase your cardiovascular risk event by 91%. That is obviously one of the most tragic articles I've ever seen. When these large entities keep trying to shove fear down your throat, please think twice about it, because fasting is great. And if you want to look into, there's plenty of credible doctors. I am not a doctor. I don't know anything. I'm just here because I'm so passionate about helping other people. And if I could give you a recommendation to go look up somebody else and for you to go find this elsewhere here, that's great. That's great. That's really all that I'm here for. So Dr. David Sinclair, he's a Harvard scientist. He studies sirtuins. So sirtuins are genes that are expressed during the fasting period that are actually related to longevity. So it's quite interesting how you can change the cell's environment through fasting. So when we cut off the nutrient sources, that's what happens. We start to express different genes in the cell. And again, one of the coolest things and one of the most important things about the cell is the mitochondria, the powerhouses of the cell. They actually hold their own genetic blueprint, and we can create more of them, mitochondrial biogenesis. So it is so fascinating, it's so cool how you can influence your nuclear DNA through your mitochondrial DNA, and you can express a place of safety. So those little Pac-Man, those little lysosomes, when you're going through a traumatic event, they will go and they will clean up everything. So that's in essence how we clear cellular trauma. And I do this through my training, through resistance training. So I do a very specific training, I call it intuitive weight training. But my whole idea behind that is to clear cellular trauma through the muscular contractions, to heal the nervous system, to restore balance within the nervous system, to restore balance within the cell. So of course this cross-talks over with having plenty of amino acids. You know, you can't talk about doing weight training and not talk about the diet, because I could put you through a very intense workout, and if you don't have the recovery mechanisms, if you don't understand what your cells need at this little level here, you know, it's kind of a game where you're just stuck in a cycle that you can't get out of. And I talk about sunlight, obviously, because, you know, again, you're going to be influencing this cellular trauma. If you can talk to your mitochondria very passively, so sitting in the sunlight, this light right here, I'm getting a lot of light spectrums. All types of light spectrums are coming in. When you're in the morning or more in the afternoon, we're going to have more of those gentler infrared rays. And our mitochondria, when they actually produce energy in our body, they emit infrared radiation. So they actually glow on a cellular level. And this is the same thing as plants. There was a scientist who I became pretty fascinated with, he's not a doctor, Otto Warburg though. Did a lot of work in the early 1900s with cell physiology and photosynthesis in plants. So cellular respiration of mitochondria in humans and our human cell is very similar to chloroplast in plants. So when a plant absorbs light energy from the sun, it will usually emit a green color. So that's a light, visible light that we are seeing with our eyes. I'm looking at the grass right now and I'm seeing that vibrant, beautiful green color just radiate from these plants that are being charged by the sun. But when we go in the sun, our mitochondria emit this infrared radiation, and we can increase our energy expenditure. It's quite a beautiful thing. The infrared ray is not visible to the human eye. So the best way that I try to explain this to people is sort of like, if you go and let's say like you were younger and you were sick, and your mom goes and she touches your forehead, okay, because she's feeling for your temperature. That's actually an infrared ray being emitted from your body, a heat temperature. So if I go out in the sun, and right now, like, I usually come out here and I'm usually not wearing like a sweatshirt and stuff, like I like to get sun on my body. But as now, while I'm wearing the sweatshirt, I can feel the heat of the sun through the sweatshirt. So that heat that I can feel but I can't see with my visible eye is that infrared spectrum of the sun. And so it's beautiful. You know, if you are sensitive, you can still go out into the sun and get these healing rays. You don't have to be like naked in the sun. Your body is still going to absorb and use that and create vitamin D and create plenty of biochemical cascades. And again, if you can get your energy focused into the mitochondria first, if you buckle down your cell membranes by getting those seed oils out of your diet and healthy fats in your diet to protect the cell, and then you can start talking to your mitochondria. Oh my goodness. I mean, you might be doing backflips. Your cell's going to do a backflip. You're going to do a backflip. You're just going to be excited and feel more energy. So it's pretty cool. That's what I'm always thinking about. I'm always thinking about the cells, the mitochondria, and how we can get more energy and vitality. A lot of that comes back to mental health for me, obviously. I think I've mentioned that before. But I hope this video was helpful for you. If it was, please like, share, and subscribe. As always, good luck.